Hi, Uncle John here, and I have decided to do a video that I've wanted to do for quite a while. I'm going to show you how to install Linux. Now, I've already booted into a live USB that I set up with a system called Ventoy that lets you use have several different ISO images, and I just found one that actually worked with the wireless adapter that I have, and I've already booted. I'm not going to go back and get everything in. I have my wireless adapter set up for my wireless network, and um, this has a number of things that you can have in the live environment. We might even try a few of them out. But this computer only has about 2 gigabytes of RAM, and I'm going to be installing from a USB to a USB that might be on the same controller. Which let me just go ahead and check that, because I think that they actually are, which is not the best ever. Okay, so that is my target. Is the pretty sure that it's the Phison on bus 3 device 5, and bus 3 device 4 is my source disk. So yeah, they're on the same bus. Um, so anyway, it's super simple. You start up the installer. Might take a few minutes. Um, this is Linux Mint LXDE edition, but there are plenty of other, or no, Linux Mint XFCE edition, I believe is what it is. But there are plenty of um, desktop environments that you can choose from, plenty of distributions that you can choose from. This one just happened to work with the cheap ASUS wireless adapter that I have to put on a USB port on this desktop. Okay, we are going with English for our language, US English for our keyboard layout, we do want to install the multimedia codecs. Um, Most people are going to want to install the multimedia codecs, but if you are in a country that has wonky patent laws, then maybe you don't want to. Um, but because of some of the weird stuff with software patents, they have to be a optional install, and um, Canonical and Linux Mint both default to no, but make it really easy to make it yes. So this computer is actually not my computer, so I'm not going to touch the main hard drive in it, which is an 80 gig um, rotational drive that my dad has Windows 10 on, even though this is a quite old desktop machine with only 2 gigabytes of RAM. something else. Okay, SDA is Windows 10, which I do not want to touch. SDB. SDC is the one that I want to do. Format. Okay, I think that is what I want. Mount point root. I have a failed Debian install on that drive, which I wish to format the drive. It'll be mounted as use a swap area. Excellent. Okay, so format it. This is what we want to do. Okay. Remove it. Add. 4 GB of swap. Okay, so we're going to leave the SDA alone. SDB we can't do anything with because that's our boot medium. Install now. Excellent. Okay, so a little bit of background on this. I that looks good. So I picked up a couple of USB sticks and a adapter to do VGA to HDMI, and I've been wanting to do a Linux install video for quite some time, and this lets me hook this computer up to the television. And after I'm done with this, I'm probably going to wipe the flash drive and use it for something completely different. Now it's got this little dialog down here at the bottom. If you go with a different distribution, the installer is more or less going to be the same, but there's going to be little differences here and there. Now, one of the nice things about these live systems is that while it's doing its thing, you can do something else. So we can go onto the internet, because I did go ahead and set up Wi-Fi before I started recording. But since this is a quite old computer, this is not going to be the fastest thing in the world. Hopefully you've got a more powerful computer that you are working with. Okay, I'm going to do something that is not very... Oh dear. It's not completely locked. It might be. Okay. Oh, that's nice. If you go to the terminals, it actually expects you to log in. Um, mm, okay, Firefox is finally loaded. Okay, there's my cursor. Okay, it says under memory pressure, flushing caches. So we are not going to do anything in Firefox. We are going to kill that. This is not with the happy making. The actual install is going to take a good long while once the partition is formatted. But I just want to keep it up to see if there's anything that it does for giving you um, any particular package install stuff before it reboots, before it actually starts the installer, really. Well, even on a poorly performing system, it does give you these nice little blurbs up here. But it has moved to actually copying files to the drive. It's got some warnings that I don't like, but this copying files part's going to take a while, and I'm just going to cut here and then put it back at the end of this, and hopefully everything will install properly, but we'll just see what happens. It'll be quite a few minutes for me, but very quick for you when I'm back. Okay, and all the files have been copied over, and now it's actually doing the bit to actually make the drive bootable. So I think we're getting close to the point where we reboot. While I was waiting, I went ahead and opened up a terminal with the top command running, which is basically like the task manager in Windows, but not graphical. And I also resized the screen to match the resolution that I record at. Excuse me. Um, I'm going to go ahead and bring that back to the foreground. And I'm going to sort by processor usage, which I screwed up and hit Control P instead of Shift P. we've got some more debug output on the installer. Everything's on IO wait, which probably means that it's writing to that disk. Okay, yes, it is writing to the disk. That's what the logs are showing on the other program that's in the background. And if we sort by memory, the installer is still using quite a bit. So this is usually a lot faster than the oh yeah, it's making progress. Oh, um, it looks like it's running updates since we do have internet connectivity. Of course, when you're doing this onto a actual either an SSD or a even a rotational hard drive, it's going to go faster than this going to that flash drive. Probably. Even a flash drive hooked up to a USB 3 is going to go faster than this flash drive on a USB 2. Okay, so it's downloading some more stuff. And sorry for going quiet there for a few minutes. I had some other stuff that I'm taking care of on the computer I'm recording my voice track on. Okay. Well, I don't know how long these updates are going to take. So I'm going to go ahead and cut here and cut back in a little bit. Oh, I thought that it was about done, but it's picking up a few more packages. Those will take a few more minutes to complete. The progress bar is progressing though, so more or less we're going to be pretty good. almost done, I hope. Configuring UDEV, that is a virtual file system that makes handling devices easier for the kernel and for users. It's actually one of the better features. That has come in the last, I don't know, 10 or so years probably. No, it's been more than 10 years since it came in. I remember before UDEV, when you actually had mknod to add device files, and it was not good. I accidentally deleted a floppy drive device once. That was irritating. Generating the init RAM-FS, that means we're probably pretty close to reboot. Okay. Grub, that's the bootloader. I think we're almost done. Okay, it's got removing a whole bunch of stuff, which probably is cleanup before it finishes everything, I think. Unfortunately, even on a fast system, there is some sitting and waiting, but most systems are going to be faster than this one. I think it's going in alphabetical order, so it's probably really, really close to done. Also, the progress bar is almost full. Sorry if this is a little bit boring. I'm just not wanting to kill my recording because oftentimes the very last part of the install goes super fast, and I want to capture that. Downloading even more packages. Isn't that lovely? So the reason that it does all this during the install process and gets all these updates while you're installing is so that when you boot the first time you don't have any known security vulnerabilities. Okay, now it's installing media codecs, which I did tell it to do. It has to download those. And this has taken entirely too long. And I might actually wind up cutting some more out of this later. So if this video's like not an hour long, I probably did. Even with stopping recording, it's gonna nearly be an hour long after I finish first boot. Copying installation logs. Okay, I believe that is going to be where we reboot. Installation is finished. You can continue testing Linux Mint, but until you okay, restart now. Until you restart your computer, any changes you make or documents you save will not be preserved. So let's go ahead and let it restart us, which it is trying to do. Looks like it is flushing writes to the disks based on that I/O weight. Got some diagnostic information there. Okay. Okay. Control Alt Delete. I've removed the Ventoy stick. I'm not seeing anything. I'm going to reboot this again. Oh, nope, it's loading Linux Mint. Awesome. But I need to AFK for a few minutes, and it will have some stuff up when I get back. Oh, I forgot to unmute when I got back. So, um, it started out with the user that we had set up during the install process, and I put in my password. Um, so this is the update manager. And all this took so long that that is my alarm to finish working on my work days and to take care of something on my non-work days. So these are all the updates that are available. So select all. We can review them if we want, and there's quite a few. It says that it's 842 megabytes, so let's just go ahead and get started installing them. Okay. And to perform the updates, you have to put in your password. Okay. It's not showing me a download rate. Each individual download is actually fairly small. Firefox is fairly large. Firefox seems to be stalled. So it says that there's an hour remaining on the updates. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and kill this recording here and come back when that's closer to once that's finished. So when I get back, it'll be an hour from now, or more or less. So I'll see you then. Alright, and the download is nearly finished. It claims that there's 26 seconds remaining, but it said that for several seconds, and it looks like it just finished another package. I think that only... Yeah, it's nearly done. But apparently we're getting rate limited or something. Okay, so the download's done and it's actually uh, making the changes. This probably will only take a few minutes, but I don't know. The disk is fairly slow because it's running at USB 2 speeds. Okay, so now it is to the cleanup and configuration step on all of those updates that it downloaded for however many packages there were. And it is getting quite late, but normally I would actually just start updates in a terminal and go to bed. Oh, that's cool. Um, it found the Windows on the other disk, and it's adding it to the bootloader menu, but I don't think that my TV is displaying the bootloader when I boot, so that's less than perfectly wonderful, but still helpful. But I think that I'm still going to just pull this out and go ahead and boot to Windows after everything's done. Because once again, this is not my computer. I just borrowed it without asking to demonstrate all of this. And just like with the installer, while I had a cut going, I have resized the monitor uh, to more closely match the recording resolution so that there's less fuzziness. And I guess this wasn't quite as close as I thought it was, but this is just going to keep scrolling for a few more minutes. Um, it installed a new kernel, which means that we want to reboot anyway. But I think that I am actually going to call it quits on this as soon as I shut it down and make sure that I didn't completely hose the original system. And this is actually my first time using Linux Mint. I usually use uh, Debian or Fedora, but Debian did not install properly, and Fedora I could not boot. I could not get to see the boot screen on my television through the entire recording setup that I have. So, no, I don't want to terminate the application. That's some debugging information. A lot of this is just the output that you would get if you ran it in the terminal. Okay, found Linux image. So that's the old kernel and the old thing. Setting up the bootloader, processing triggers, updating. So the 6.8.0-49 is the new one, and the 6.8.0-38 is the one that was initially installed. Okay. Well, I think that going through all that is all that I really want to do. And let's go ahead and power down. And then you've got the option to log off, to reboot, to shut down, to suspend, to switch user, which means you just open another desktop and let someone else log in. We're going full shutdown. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I think that I'm going to do something else next. But like I said, I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I do hope that each and every one of you has a wonderful day.